Hello and welcome to Organic Edible Garden. This week we're going to look at sowing seeds for our autumn and late summer planting, which differ slightly from sowing seeds in springtime. Also, we're going to look at problems that people may be having with their tomatoes this year. Today we're going to plant our onions and our leek seeds. We're also going to look for a dish that's deeper than our normal seed tray. By doing this, the soil will stay more moist and the seeds will have a better chance of germinating. This is a kitty litter tray which we've gone and drilled some holes in. Also, onions and leeks have a long taproot, so this is better for them when transplanting. So the first thing we're going to do is fill our dish with some good seed mix. This is just sieved compost again. We're going to smooth it out and make some lines. Next thing we're going to do is get our onion seeds and our leek seeds which have been in the fridge. When planting any type of seed like this, especially onion seeds, it's really good to get fresh seeds every year. And after you've bought them, stick them in the fridge for at least 2 weeks and this will help with germination. We're going to sow the seeds thickly because when we take them out, we're not taking any soil with them. Then we're going to label our seeds and we're also going to date them. It's important to date things, especially onion and leek seeds, because if they're not fresh seeds and they don't germinate after 2 or 3 weeks, you know you've got a problem. And then finally, with the same mix that we put in here, we're going to cover them. We're going to sprinkle them lightly over the top to about the same depth that the seeds are. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to dip our whole tray into a bigger bin of water, at least up to that depth. At this time of year the soil is very dry, and by soaking it for at least 20 minutes the soil particles will expand and this will keep the seed tray wetter longer. We're also going to add some seaweed solution to this mix. This will give the seeds a better start to life. Now that it's done, we can place our seed tray in the bin. Now that our seed tray has absorbed all the water it can, we're going to cover it now. And what I like to do, I like to use something like a cake rack that we can put on the top. And then on top of that, we're going to put something like a tea towel. You can put newspaper or other things as well, but I find they fly away quite easily. So I just use a towel like this, and I'll just cover it over. What this will do, it'll protect the seeds from the harsh sun. It'll keep the soil more moist, but also it'll keep the humidity level in there, which will help the seeds germinate. After that, I'd water at least once a day, if not twice. And by watering, I'd take the towel off, give it a good water, wet the towel again and cover it over. Now with a seed tray like this at this time of year with the harsh sun, it's best to keep it in a part shady area. The full sun will dry it out too quick. When planting onions, it's important to remember there are 2 types of onions. There's our summer onions, which are day-long onions. These grow really quickly, but they don't store at all. What we're planting at this time of year are our day-short onions. These are the ones that will go through the cold winter period. They're things like your Pukekohe longkeeper and your Californian red. We want to plant them while the soil is still warm, but they need that cold snap to develop and size up. And people ask, why even bother growing onions when they're so cheap in the shop? Onions are a heavily sprayed crop, and the taste of fresh onions out your own garden is nothing like the ones that are stored. So for me, it's always worth it. My number one problem in my tomato bed is the green shield beetle. This is an immature one, but it's still doing damage to my tomatoes. You can see where it's injected into the tomato, the little circles. It's going to rot from the inside out. There's only one thing I want done with this green shield beetle, and it's to destroy them. They smell when you squish them, but that smell will also help keep other green shield beetles away. So I'm going to put it on the piece of concrete, and I'm going to kill it. Today the crew brought a tomato in that was still covered in green shield beetles, and you can see the damage it's done. It's starting to rot from the inside out and it's become very squishy. The only thing you can do with a tomato like this is throw it away. Even though we're going to throw this tomato away, the green shield beetles are not affecting the plant and it can still produce good tomatoes. The best way to control them from this point on is just going out each time and checking your tomato plants and killing off any green shield beetles that are around. Planting more beneficial flowers in your garden will help with this problem in the future, and encouraging birds to your garden is also a good solution. Another problem that often people have with their tomatoes is they have blossom end rot. When your tomatoes get like this, and I'll tilt this one up, and it has a hollow stem in the bottom, this is due to two things. Firstly, it can be lack of calcium in your soil, and I know in our beds that's not the problem. This is solely due to lack of even watering. Because of going away at Christmas time, the garden got a bit neglected and we haven't watered regularly. With all tomatoes, I think it's better to water a little often than a deep soaking once a week. At this time of the year, you may notice that your tomatoes go a bit crazy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave my tomatoes. Because of the high humidity at the moment, I just don't want to handle them at all. By delattering or taking leaves off, we can open them up for infection and only make it worse.